Well, this is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV Abuja. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us for the program for today. I am Bulus Joanna with the headlines. Well, 20th Abuja Trade Fair opens, showcasing Nigeria's business potentials. Nigeria marks 65th independence with reflection, unity calls amid parade cancellation. The NLC mobilizes for nationwide strike over Dangote's alleged worker rights violations. Court blocks Pa Totomi's shadow government plan and declares it unconstitutional. And on the foreign scene, Netanyahu apologizes to Qatar over deadly strike on Hamas targets in Doha. Details of the stories and more to come shortly after the break. Do stay with us. The 20th Abuja International Trade Fair has been officially declared open, marking 2 decades of promoting investment, innovation, and partnerships in Nigeria's business landscape. Organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, this year's edition has attracted government officials, diplomats, and industry leaders. Here's our report from the opening ceremony.
A major platform that has promoted innovation, investment, and business partnerships for 2 decades. This year's fair, organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is themed Sustainability, Consumption, Incentives, and Taxation, and has drawn government officials, diplomats, and industry leaders from across Nigeria and beyond. Declaring the fair open, the president of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chief Dr. Emeka Ogbegolu, SAN, described it as a historic milestone for the Chamber and the nation's business community. Declaring the fair open, the president of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chief Dr. Emeka Ogbegolu, SAN, described it as a historic milestone for the Chamber and the nation's business community. He recalled its humble beginnings 2 decades ago, the old parade ground in Abuja, noting how it has since evolved into one of Nigeria's most prestigious trade events. Ogbegolu added that over the years, the fair has remained committed to creating opportunities for investors nationwide, with this year's edition attracting more than 40 diplomatic missions and trade promotion agencies. In a keynote address, the national president of NASIMA, Damian Ibrahim, commended the Abuja Chamber for sustaining the fair and reaffirmed the private sector's commitment to building a $1 trillion sustainable economy by 2030. He highlighted the need to boost demand for made in Nigerian products, incentivize innovation, and reform taxation to ease the burden on small businesses. Ibrahim also urged Nigeria to seize upcoming opportunities such as the Intra-African Trade Fair, which Lagos will host in 2027, while stressing the importance of empowering youth and women entrepreneurs, embracing digital trade, and aligning fully with AFCTA to unlock continental markets. The 20th Abuja International Trade Fair continues in the capital, with exhibitors and participants showcasing goods, services, and innovations from Nigeria and around the world. The Federal Capital Territory is hosting the 20th edition of its International Trade Fair, a major platform that has promoted innovation, investment, and business partnerships for 2 decades. This year's fair, organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is themed Sustainability, Consumption, Incentives, and Taxation, and has drawn government officials, diplomats, and industry leaders from across Nigeria and beyond. Declaring the fair open, the president of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chief Dr. Emeka.
And that was the opening of the 20th Abuja Trade Fair. We'll bring you more updates as the fair progresses. As Nigeria celebrates its 65th independence anniversary, the federal government has called for sober reflection, describing the nation as a work in progress but moving towards recovery and inclusive growth after President Bola Tinubu. The planned parade was cancelled, though October 1st remains a public holiday. Government officials emphasized resilience and shared responsibility in building a stronger nation. And Secretary to the Government, George Akume, said the theme, All Hands on Deck, reflects the need for every citizen to contribute to national progress. Religious and civic events continue with President Tinubu expected to address the nation. The government dismissed claims of regional marginalization and defends its reform agenda, expressing optimism that unity and cooperation will drive lasting peace and prosperity. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Labour Congress has called on its affiliate unions to prepare for a nationwide strike against the Dangote Group, accusing the company of mistreating workers and suppressing union efforts. This follows a strike by oil workers that disrupted operations at major energy agencies, despite a court order attempting to block the action. NLC President Joe Ajero criticized Dangote for what he described as long-standing disregard for workers' rights and labor laws, urging unions to begin organizing workers across all Dangote facilities. He said the company's actions reflect a deeper pattern of exploitation and impunity. The conflict threatens to impact Nigeria's economy, as a $20 billion refinery is key to reducing foreign imports and stabilizing the naira. Talks between the government, unions, and Dangote are ongoing, but tensions remain high. In another development, the Federal High Court in Abuja has barred Professor Pat Utumi from forming a shadow government, ruling the move unconstitutional and incompatible with Nigeria's presidential system. Justice James Omotosho said such a structure could incite unrest and undermine national stability. The court emphasized that while citizens have rights to free speech and association, those freedoms are not unlimited, especially when national security is at risk. The judge warned that Utumi's plan could encourage parallel power structures and threaten democratic governance. And although Utumi claimed his initiative was part of civil society engagement, the court dismissed it as unlawful and has urged critics of government policy to use legal and constructive channels, not unconstitutional alternatives. And you're still watching news analysis right here on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Still to come, Amana Finance launches as Nigeria's first non-interest finance firm with CBN approval. Details of this headline and more news content after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. And on Business Matters, Amana Finance Company has received its operating license from the Central Bank of Nigeria, becoming the country's first non-interest finance firm. The move introduces Sharia-compliant, interest-free financial services aimed at individuals, small businesses, and underserved communities. Board Chairman Dr. Akeem Oyewole said the license marks a new chapter in ethical finance, promising inclusive and transparent solutions that empower entrepreneurs and promote shared prosperity. In other foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has apologized to Qatar following an Israeli missile strike in Doha that killed the Qatari security officer and several Hamas members. The apology came during a joint call with US President Donald Trump and Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed Al Thani at the White House. Netanyahu expressed regret over the incident, acknowledging that the attack breached Qatari sovereignty and promising it would not happen again. The strike, which occurred during hostage negotiations, drew global criticism and marked Israel's first military action on Qatari soil. Qatar's foreign ministry confirmed the call, describing it as part of U.S. efforts to manage the fallout from the attack, which targeted a residential area housing Hamas negotiators. The incident has raised tensions and spotlighted Qatar's role as a key mediator in Middle East diplomacy. And now for sports news, let's join our Kotam.
Good day, I'm Kotam. Let's dive into your latest P&B Sports update. In Chile, the Flying Eagles fell to Norway in their opening Under-20 World Cup match. Norway won 1-0 after Rasmus Højlund converted the first half penalty, leaving Nigeria needing a response in their next group fixtures. In a separate development off the pitch, FIFA Disciplinary Committee has sanctioned South Africa for fielding an ineligible player in a World Cup qualifying match. FIFA awarded Lesotho a 3-0 win, docked South Africa 3 points and fined the Federation 10,000 Swiss francs. Ruling has reshaped Group C as the qualifiers move into their final. The 3-point deduction just buffeted down the group and hands momentum to rivals. Benin now leads the section on goal difference. South Africa must now chase results in the remaining matches to salve their qualification hopes. Finally, both Nigeria and South Africa have important qualifiers coming up on October 10th and 14th. Those matches will go a long way to decide who reaches North America next year. That's your P&B Sports update. I'm Al Cotton. Stay tuned.
Welcome back and on to the focus of the day. Today we turn our focus to a major development in regional security. Intelligence agencies in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso say they are ready to name Nigerian politicians allegedly backing bandit groups responsible for violence in the northwest. All this move is part of a broader crackdown on cross-border crime syndicates destabilizing the region. And with several suspects already in custody, the spotlight is now on political complicity and regional cooperation. And joining us to unpack this complex issue after a short break is Comrade Bitako Abubakar Omar, spokesperson of the Rebuild Iowa Initiative for Development, an educationist, public affairs analyst, and politician who will be joining us via WhatsApp call. Stay with us. Welcome back. Speaking about political complicity and regional security, we'll be speaking with Comrade Bitako Abubakar Umar via WhatsApp call. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Let's go on a short break and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Good afternoon, Comrade Bitako.
Good afternoon, my uncle.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So what do you make of the decision by Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso to publicly name Nigerian politicians allegedly supporting banditry?
To start with, it's just very unfortunate the way the security architecture and security affairs is handled in our country, Nigeria. Why am I saying so? This insecurity, particularly in the region, and particularly in Borno, Yobe, and some part of Adama, has been there for over 11 years now. Many have been killed, property have been lost, and some aspects or some parts of our dear region has been annexed by the so-called Boko Haram. And over time, the federal government, particularly when Buhari took over government, that is 2015, there was a kind of report that some individuals, prominent individuals in Nigerian political cycle have been sponsoring or are said to be sponsoring these so-called Boko Haram or insurgents or terrorists, as whatever name you could call them. But Nigerians have been looking forward eagerly to see the federal government publish the names of the individuals that are perpetrating all this, that are financier of these terrorist groups. But up to today, we have not had anything, we have not seen anything on ground, and the banditry, the terrorists have been terrorizing our people, have been killing our people. In fact, to the extent that almost the 3 regions of the Grand Northern Nigeria has been under this menace. So it is very unfortunate. And when I read that these 3 Sahelian nations, the Niger Republic, the Burkina Faso, and the Mali, are ever ready to publish the names of Nigerian figures that are financed of these terrorists, we are happy. Every responsible Nigerian that is ready to acquire peace, to get peace for their survival and the survival of the nation, will be happy with that development. We will be happy to see those who are involved in this calamity.
So you spoke about the Sahel states. How significant is this move in terms of regional security cooperation among the Sahel states?
Well, when you look at it today, these Sahelian nations were part of the ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is a body that galvanizes, that controls, that evaluates, that provides development and peace to the Western region, that's West Africa region. Today, these 3 nations have pulled out of the ECOWAS. They are independent, and to some extent they are doing well. They are doing well because when you look at it, ECOWAS as a regional body has not done well in curbing insecurity in the region. So today they are independent, today they are doing well, today they are fighting the foreign perpetrators as far as insecurity is concerned. And don't forget, most of these foreign perpetrators are the financier of these so-called Boko Haram, so-called bandits, so-called terrorists, whatever name you could call them. They are retarding development as far as this country is concerned. So for them to come out and say they are going to publish the names of these financiers, I think every Nigerian will be happy. Because we will be able to know who and who is involved in sponsoring this criminality as far as our country is concerned. The sovereignty of Nigeria is being a kind of stand out. So it's very unfortunate.
Yes, sir. Sir, you speaking about Nigerians being eager to know who these people are. What legal or diplomatic implications could arise if these high-profile Nigerian figures are named?
Well, that is vested on the purpose of these three countries that are ready to do this. Don't forget, early last year or early this year, I remember vividly, there was a video trending on social media that made mention of some individuals in Nigeria. This video came out from the President of the Republic of Niger. Has Nigerian government or federal government of Nigeria came out to refute that? Yes, I know. We have not seen it. We have never had it. You understand? They are not attacking the foreign affairs that is in charge of international relations with other countries, has not come out to refute. Neither has they come out with a very strong statement to that effect. So, in that sense, every reasonable, every educated, every responsible Nigerian will now agree there is a complicity as far as this affairs is concerned. So there surely, or there will be a kind of diplomatic implication of course, but it's the burden of resistance, the burden of the defense lies on this Sahelian state who are ready to reveal the name of this individual. And don't forget, by revealing the names of these individuals, the Sahelian state will equally have peace of mind, will equally acquire rest of mind, will equally have peace and tranquility as far as their country is concerned. They are definitely fighting, don't forget, they are definitely fighting insecurity in Mali, insecurity in Burkina Faso, insecurity in Niger. That is our army. What do we as Nigerians supposed to do? Nigerian government is supposed to react with every sincerity of purpose with Niger that we are bordered with them. How many kilometers? How many thousands of kilometers that we are bordered to Niger? We're supposed to liaise with them in order to curb the insecurity. But are we doing that efficiently, effectively, and adequately? The answer is no. So the burden of diplomatic relations will not lie on these three nations, and as well as the Nigerian government that is so involved in this issue.
Yes, sir. So, do you believe this signals a shift in how West African nations are tackling transnational crime and political interference?
100%. 100%. Today, if you are my neighbor, and if I'm having issues of insecurity in my neighborhood, and I expect you to assist me in curbing that, failure to do that will mean something else. You understand? Yeah. So, if, as they say, if, as they have revealed, if they have come out on media to say they are going to reveal the names of Nigeria, please, many Nigerians will clap for them. Many Nigerians will appreciate them. Many Nigerians, like me, will 100% back them up. Because I wouldn't, as an individual, as a citizen of Nigeria, who under constitutional right, the fundamental right as a human, as a citizen, to be protected by Nigerian government, and is not doing that. Don't forget you are a journalist. Generals, retired generals and sergeant generals have been kidnapped, and ransoms have been paid to that effect before they were released. Retired generals have been killed. One fine general was adopted in Plateau 2 years ago, and the extent that he was killed. Is this a palatable story? The story is not palatable. So, the development, free Nigerian citizens that respect this country, that so love this country, don't forget this country is our fatherland. We have no any other country rather than Nigeria. So we'll be very much appreciative of that. And that they could serve as a deterrent. That they will stop them from financing or participating in this heinous act.
Yes, sir. So do you think Nigeria should take some drastic steps to address these allegations and strengthen its own internal security framework?
This is what Nigerian government should have done right from the outset of this insecurity. Supposing Nigeria government was up and doing in tackling this insecurity, we wouldn't have reached this state we are. It started from Borno to Yobe, down to Adamawa, is extended to the northwestern states like Katsina, states like Zamfara, states like Kebbi, and so as well. Don't forget, in the central region, it has engulfed the good people of Plateau State. It has engulfed the good people of Niger State. Niger, Plateau are all of agricultural activities, which will now assist in the development of the economy of Nigeria. Today is under threat. So what are we talking about?
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Comrade Bitaku Abubakar Umar, the spokesperson of the Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, as we wrap up tonight's discussion, one thing is clear. The fight against banditry and cross-border crime in West Africa is entering a new phase, one that demands accountability at the highest levels. The decision by Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso to name alleged political backers of criminal groups sends a strong message. Regional security is no longer just about borders, but about integrity and cooperation. And we've been speaking with Comrade Bitaku Abubakar Umar, spokesperson of the Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development, an educationist, public affairs analyst, and politician who joined us via WhatsApp call. Thank you for your insights, and thank you, our viewers, for watching News Analysis. Well, that wraps up today's program, but before we go, the headlines again. Nigeria marks 65th independence with reflection and unity calls amid parade cancellation. The NLC mobilizes for nationwide strike over Dangote's alleged worker rights violations. Court blocks Part Tutumi's shadow government plan and declares it unconstitutional. And on the foreign scene, Netanyahu apologizes to Qatar over deadly strike on Hamas targets in Doha. And for more updates and in-depth analysis, follow Politics and Business TV English on YouTube and Facebook. Connect with us on Instagram at PNBTV English